take a step back and think of just like a single channel kind of retail experience, people used to kind of earn their money and then go to the high street and go to a shop and kind of buy stuff and leave, right? And then as kind of society evolved, we started having more and more channels where potentially, we had kind of a multi-channel environment where, you could go and buy things in a brick and mortar store, but you could also have a web presence. And kind of the omni-channel is really any customer contact point that you could really think of. So it could be bricks and mortar, online, TV, mobile. And if you think of a customer user journey, there are now multiple kind of omni points of customer contact. Someone could be having a conversation with somebody on WhatsApp, discussing, let's say they're buying a pair of jeans, talking about some jeans. They might Google it on their phone on the way to the shop. They might go to the shop and actually have a look. They might use an app from the store to maybe make a purchase decision, and they might at some point on the web want to return those products. So we have this whole kind of omni-channel customer contact experience. An example I've given you now for retail, but I guess it pertains to kind of service sector type products as well. And what is really useful is technologies that allow the retailers to kind of have a consistent view of the customer along that journey. We've all experienced, for instance, when, let's say, we've gone into our bank and we've spoken to them about our account or something like that, and then a couple of days later we've called them and tried to discuss the same problem that we're having, and we have to recreate that context again. We have to say who we are. We have to give all these weird password hints, authenticate ourselves, and that kind of is a negative user experience. Having to recreate through all these kind of omni channels, recreate that context of who we are and what we're trying to do. So what would be great is if we could start to see products where, regardless of the channel that we interact with brands and service sectors, that the context is always easily replicable, and we don't have to kind of recreate. We don't have to get into what we call these kind of context recreation loops. And if we can achieve that, I think this really leads to much higher engagement, better user experience, and overall kind of better customer engagement.
Right. And another kind of a scenario that a colleague of ours had described that really made it clear to me was the idea of a business traveler who has some rewards program because they travel frequently, but that rewards program ties in flights, and it ties in hotel, it ties in a number of different services. And like you said, the touch points for all those services are on the phone, they're directly in person. And if the company that offers that rewards program could have a single view of that customer and all those touch points and provide the appropriate context each time they go to the car rental place or whatnot, the user experience would be so much better. And I think you're completely right about the engagement of that user.
Exactly, and that's what we try to build here at Expo, right? We're very focused on this whole concept of kind of contextual communication. We're working very hard on building kind of contextually aware APIs right now. And interestingly, there's kind of an anthropological reason for this, right? Whenever we interact with a brand who kind of seems to know what we're trying to achieve, or who recognizes us, there's what we call these kind of dopamine events that occur. So it's actually quite a biological reason why these things are successful.
I think I've experienced the antithesis of that.
It works both ways. So